In April 2015, 4 ex-Blackwater security contractors were sentenced to prison for what some have called an unprovoked massacre on Iraqi civilians. The non-military convoy fired sniper rifles, grenade launchers, and machine guns at a crowd of people in Baghdad's Nisour Square. This prompted multiple investigations and indictments against the mercenary team. In recent years, private security contractors have been widely criticized for their ambiguous role in armed conflicts around the world. So what exactly are these private militaries? Private military companies, or PMCs, usually contract with governments to provide additional security, training, and bodyguards in conflict zones around the world. The practice of hiring private contractors, also called mercenaries, has been around since at least 1294 BC. However, since the end of the Cold War, the number of military soldiers worldwide has shrunk dramatically. The US, in particular, cut a third of their armed forces while increasing their presence in conflict zones. This shift in both supply and demand opened the doors for highly lucrative government contracts to fill in the gaps. Private military companies have been said to generate as much as $100 billion a year. However, according to both the Geneva Convention as well as the 2001 United Nations Mercenary Convention, the hiring of mercenaries in armed conflicts is expressly prohibited. And although 33 countries have ratified the UN Convention, both the UK and the US refused to sign, claiming that PMCs do not qualify as mercenaries because they act defensively, not offensively. Perhaps the most complicated aspect of PMCs is who they are responsible to, and who is responsible for them. In Iraq, over 100,000 contractors worked for the Department of Defense in 2006. At the time, the US Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld said that PMCs were exempt from the Code of Military Conduct. Additionally, a 2006 provisional order issued by the US-based Transitional Government of Iraq gave all PMCs immunity from Iraqi law, although by 2007 they were specifically included under the US military code. The question of whether serving as a military force but not being bound to military conduct standards is either moral or legal has long been debated, especially as PMCs outnumber soldiers in certain parts of the world, operating under little oversight. But with the Blackwater massacre pointing to the failure of private militaries, at the very least, we should be cautious about this expensive and dangerous practice. The US still does have a very obvious military presence in Iraq. To learn the difference between these private contractors and our highly trained military advisors there, take a look at this helpful explainer. By definition, a military advisor is a soldier sent to a foreign nation to help that nation's military. They are not an invading force. They assist with things like training, organization, and strength assessment. We sure hope by now you're subscribed to TestTube. You won't want to miss any of our upcoming videos, so please subscribe now. And thank you for watching.